Yes, indeed. It is Friday, and we are here for Shine Vibrations. What's going on, Sunshine? How you doing?
Hey, peace, 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 boy. When I tell you, whew, better. What did you just say in the back? You had what? 5 Mondays this week.
5 Mondays.
Oh, that's serious.
Hey, I get it. Life's gonna throw you curveballs once in a while, but like I was saying earlier, you just keep going. You know,
Man, when I tell you, life been throwing them like it's Muhammad and Tyson.
I got you.
But other than that, how is the weather? Because guess what? I was dressed like this all day. Hey.
Oh, so it actually warmed up a little bit up there.
A little bit. These last 3 days have been amazing in the QC, I will have to say.
Okay. Well, I know we don't like to compare weather because
I be watching South Florida news in the morning anyway. So
see, look at you. You weren't hurting yourself doing that. It was 82 today. That was the high.
It got to 72. We was only 10 behind you. 10 behind you.
Okay, cool.
Well, like shout out to my boys' school, Tuckasegee. Rocking. I was a chaperone today too. Whew.
Chaperoning is a whole different animal.
Yeah, whole third grade class to the NASCAR museum. Man, and when I tell you this other school acted a fool in there, and their chaperones and their teachers did nothing. The privilege of some of them.
I was gonna say, we'll handle our own BA kids, but someone else's ain't happening.
It's not happening. It's not. No, it's not.
Not at all. Yo, so family, talk to me. Who's our guest that we got tonight?
Now, Josh Smalls. Like, there is so much. I believe he has his name on there, Coach Josh Smalls. We are in a group on Facebook together. It's a collection of poets, the Black Poetry Cafe, and we are also connected through some other poets that have already been on the show. This brother is awesome. He's dynamic. You want to talk about folks that use their art in a way to educate and to promote, wellness within the communities. Like, he's been doing so much. He's right here in the same city as me. He does a lot here. He recently had events at the Blumenthal Theater. So, I just reached out to him. I said, look, bro, I want you on. I just know you've been doing so much around the city. I just was trying to find a way to jump in there, and there was a little ruffle in the play today, but hey, thanks to divine energy, we just going at it a little earlier today, just so that beloved can get his shine on later, and hey, we get to hear about the event that he's doing later after this. So let's bring him on out. And the pictures that we have of him, you can share those too.
I will grab those. It's been such a crazy day. I ain't even get to grab nothing. So
yeah,
I'll chop it up and I'll be doing that.
All right. Peace, beloved.
First, before we even get started, right? It's so disrespectful to talk about 80 degrees. and it's February. I'm saying like that's just so hurtful.
I mean, but we still had it good here, though. It wasn't 80, but it was good. Look, it's not Jersey and New York.
I miss my food in New York. I miss the convenience. I miss some of my friends and family.
Yes, but not that weather, right?
After that, when you get off that train and that hawk call your name out loud, like I was waiting on you.
Yeah. They come smack you from around the building.
You'd be like, oh, it ain't that bad. Till you hit that block, and it's like, oh. Yeah.
Yes. Look, I don't even, peace. Oh, sis, you know, this is just that front that was taken down. I had to let it hang. Appreciate y'all. Yes, we started early. You know, Beloved is a busy brother, so he has an event later on. And, you know, divine energy, as I was just about to say, made it happen that we was able to, you know, go live a little earlier. Look how that worked out, because I sure didn't know it was possible to happen.
I was sitting here like, oh man, I messed up, yo. But
look at that.
Yeah, I'm glad it was able to happen. It really was.
So let the people know. Well, we already alluded to where you're from, so let's be exact for the folks. Where you originally from? You know, where you hail? Where was you established? And how long you've been in North Carolina?
So originally, I'm from East New York section of Brooklyn, New York City. That's my home base, born and raised. I got shot up in 97. In 91, and I moved down here in 97. And so I've been here off and on since 97. I moved back to New York, came back, went to Florida. I was in Florida, and then I came to North Carolina, and I've been here since then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, how was well, you know, being from up top, you know, being exposed to the life there, and you know, especially in New York, no matter which borough you're from, you know, culture is heavy. Yeah. You know, it's very important, especially around Brooklyn. You know, it's heavily and thoroughly represented at every corner that you bump into. So, in that, was it something, an experience, or just part of, you know, day to day what we experienced on the street? Is that how poetry became a part of you, or this was something that you just knew you had early on?
Right. So excellent question. So for me, poetry is a family thing. So one of my uncle Chester Small is a poet that's well known in the city of New York too. My mom is also a poet. So I was writing poetry when I was young. Like I went to PS 190.
Okay.
In PS 190, I used to write little short poems for my friends to give to their little girlfriends that they like.
Okay, early hustler. How much was you charging for the little poem?
I was giving it. I gave.
You wasn't not even for candy. Not even for the trade off some candy.
You know, I they used to hook me up with the cookies, the butter crunch cookies, and the Drake's oatmeal, the coconut and the oatmeal ones. I always got that. So you know, it was a decent trade off.
Okay, all right.
But, so then, you know, from that, you know, I really wanted to go to school. I turned to DJ when I was young. I was DJing when I was just going to go to Gersh. Okay. So I was leaving 190 to go to Gersh, and I became a DJ during that time. My cousin showed me how to do it. But I always was a dancer. Like break dancing was my thing, pop locking.
Oh, I was going to ask that question. I'm glad you brought it up.
Listen, we can get into that, right? So, to make a long story short, my mom, she gave birth to me when she was 18. So when she was in school, she is given a full scholarship to dance for Alvin Ailey. So she had a scholarship in one hand, and she was holding me in her womb with the other hand. So she had a decision to make.
Wow.
But she gave up her career to become a mom. And so I obviously following my mom's, you know what I mean? My dad was a professional boxer, so I knew how to fight, but following my mom's, I wanted to learn how to really, really dance. Like I saw my mom and I'm like, yo. So I wanted to go to school for dance. But back then, they looked at you like, you know, you were soft or you belong to a different group of people.
Exactly, yeah.
I shied away from it. And then I moved. Like I said, things happened in the South. In the city. They tried to rob me. I got shot up. I moved to the South 6 years later. And then I got into, so I wasn't writing as much. And then I had an on-the-job injury. And the on-the-job injury was another head injury. And so I had to sit down. I couldn't do nothing. And it got real bad. It got real dark for me. And so the only thing I could do was pick up a pen. And I started, you know, writing things down. I was like, oh, I still got it, right? And the poetry started coming back. all the battle rapping I did in New York City, all the rolling up of block parties and getting on the mic, all of that had faded because there was a new era coming in, right?
That's right.
So I got into just writing, and 10 years we decided we was gonna do an open mic, and June to be 10 years we've been doing poetry full time, my brother and I. So that's kind of how that whole thing started. So I'm kind of skipping through because it gets real emotional for me in this a lot.
No.
And then part of both the injury from having a bullet still on my jawbone and the other head injury I sustained, my memory is kind of botched at times. And so I go through little things, and when the weather is up and down like this, it really bothers me a lot. So it's a lot of disturbance in there. So if you see me blinking, don't worry about it. If I'm talking from the side of my mouth, you know what's going on.
I get it. I understand. You know, it's all love, and we family here. So, you know, it's never nothing that's surprising, you know, especially when, you know, the up north experience, you know, I get it. I definitely understand. And, you know, a lot of the same experiences, like as far as things that we've been exposed to, it happens everywhere, you know, but, you know, when you from it, you know how it is, but where you from, that's just what it is.
Right.
You know, so,
let me add on to that before you say something. I know people are going to see this, and I want to make clear, I don't bash a lot of artists because they're artists, right? I just don't do certain things I don't do. And there's a particular artist that's like really getting the hype, like he's so dope. And I've been trying to tell people, when you're from New York City, that type of lyricism is on every corner.
Yes.
So a lot of it is not special to me because I've seen it already every day of my life. And I think people don't understand how rich hip hop culture is in New York City, and that rapping is just a part of that, just one of the elements.
That's right.
Like, I'm seeing these, you know, there's one in particular. I'm not gonna say the name because I don't want to feel like I'm bashing, but I'm not saying that he don't have skill. But bro, I can go get a crackhead.
Yes.
And he can give you that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's that rich. And so people that don't understand, when they get lost, and when we talk about New York City, it's not something that we make up. Like, this is what it is. If in your building, if you live in a 4-family home, right? So that means you got 4 different families in that one house.
That's right.
I guarantee you, there are kids in there that flow that you may never hear from that could actually be on records right now, selling platinum records. I'm just like, that's just what it is.
Yeah, that's just how I go.
That's the culture, baby. That's the culture.
Yeah, indeed. And it's like, you know, it's a bad, you know, just on that alone, you know, we could be stuck on that right there for like, forever.
Yeah.
You know, thanks to my big brother, who was on last time. He also goes by Malik, but you know, the exposure to the life, you know, a lot of it came from him. You know, he's the wali, so you know he's supposed to, you know, guide us when the parents isn't around. So you know, in the beginning stages, he did a lot of imprinting, you know. So for it to manifest in this way and to be able to get connected and being amongst the ranks of, you know, folks like yourself, beloved, you know, and on my end, it is an honor because, you know, some of the folks just don't know what I know. So like I said, I want to use my platform to bring those that I've either worked with already, future projects will work with, but that I'm also fans of, you know, to whatever they want to do, get some more exposure because, you know, so many times we see people posting on social media about not getting support, but in that, I always think a few people I've had the open conversation with, I said, but what about those that do? Because a lot of times we expect, and we should already know this from within our own families.
Yeah.
A lot of times we think because we're blood related to folks that they're expected to a different calling, but you know, your blood family is the family you don't get to choose. So they prepare you for the people that you meet out in the world.
Right.
Because you know, you might got an Uncle Willie, and next thing you know, you see an Uncle Willie like your Uncle Willie across the street. Oh, I already know how to deal with you because you just like my uncle. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like our are the ones we didn't choose are our best teachers.
Absolutely.
Even, you know, and a lot of people don't even see it like that. Yeah. And so it's always this focus on those. I don't know what this bandwagon thing is with that, but I'm not for that. So I said, you know, with my podcast, let me do a little something different. Mm. So because to share, help promote is free.
Yeah.
You feel me? Yeah. I got an opportunity. So hey, come on, whatever. Who don't want more exposure?
Right.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you get an opportunity to say a little bit more about yourself that people may not know. You know, some people only see you in one light, thinking that they know you, but they never got an opportunity to sit down with you and have a discussion.
You know, I'm still not used to people saying, you know, I'm a fan of your work. I'm a fan of, you know, and I don't know. And I guess it's because this is what I do. You know what I mean? It's not like I do this because I'm trying to gain, you know, fandom or, you know what I mean? I'm appreciative of it. Don't get me wrong. But
that's just the benefit.
I don't know how to absorb that, right? I accept it, but I don't know how to absorb it. And so another thing I think people misinterpret, right? We expect the people that's right next to us to be our biggest supporters. And that's not their MO. And you can't be mad.
You can't.
So, I was told by I get mentored by Sporty, who's another poet I met. He's a little older now, right? And he sat me down one day. He said, I want to talk to you because some things I need to make sure you're doing right with your work, right? And I really, really love the brother. He said to me, what artists have to realize is that indeed you are a messenger, but you are not a messenger for everybody. And so you may be in a crowd with 1,500 people and 1,499 people don't receive your message. You have to be happy with that because the one who was supposed to receive your message receives your message, and you just wasn't the messenger for the rest of them. And that summed up support for me in a nutshell.
That's right.
Now, adding to what you talked about as well, right? This is what our ancestors teach. We're going to class now. Our ancestors teach us that the only blood relatives that we choose are our parents. The ancestors teach that we summon our parents to togetherness, not foreverness, for togetherness, meaning simply that you know what you need to get through this life. Whatever it is written for you, you know already before you physically come here. And you choose two individuals to bring you here to serve your purpose in this life. The rest of your blood relatives has nothing to do with your calling. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Beautiful people, man. Just think about that. So all of you that's listening, that's having these problems with my dad ain't this, and my mom, she never that. Think about it this way. Number one, you don't know what you would have done if you were them in their position for their life, including your part. That's number one. Number two, you are the one who warrant them together for the benefit of bringing you forth in this life. You don't have the right to complain about what they did not or didn't do because that was not their calling. That was your doing. Wow. Wow.
That's heavy. I hope they able to carry that.
Listen, if you're not sure, when you find me on social media, find me and we'll have this conversation because I can't be upset that my dad's life before me led him to the life that was after me. Same thing with my mom. But guess what? Just what I said earlier, she chose motherhood over a career.
Yeah.
That was my doing because I summoned her to be my mom. I caused that. Oh my gosh. So I know that's deep for some people, but you have to think when we neglect what our ancestors left us, we neglect who we are. We neglect everything in life because that was set before we even came about.
Shay.
Shay.
For real. See, Veep, I hope you in the background, you understand. This is why I'm like, okay, I gotta reach out now. I think I done deliberated enough because you have been very busy around the city. Your connections that you have, the events you've hosted at the Blumenthal Theater, you know,
I didn't host that event.
Well, you was part of it.
Yes.
You was part of it. And you want to speak about those real quick?
So here's what I'd like to talk about, right? And so we're in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Dorothy Counts is the sister who at 15 went to Harding High School and said, "No more will you not allow Black students here." Okay. I had the honor of being a part of which I don't really care nothing about Black History Month. Every month is Black History Month.
That's right. That's right.
Right, because you don't have American history nor world history without
That's
Black
right.
history. And so I was part of the celebration, and it was called Black History Charlotte is the concept that I gave it. And I decided that it was time for this poem from Miss Dorothy Counts to be here and present and in this world. Well, I had the honor of having her present in the building. She didn't even know. And I delivered this poem at the Harvey Gantt Center. And I've been in front of 1,400 so people performing. I've been in front of crowds, right? And there was probably about 200 people, maybe a little more, maybe over 200 people in the building. But the nervousness never sat in until she walked in. I've not felt nervousness like this before, ever. And it was just an amazing moment. And what I'm saying, the reason why I'm mentioning that is because we have, as artists, doesn't matter what genre you're in as an artist, you have a gift. But within that gift, you have an obligation. And if you don't leave it for who's next, to at least pick up and run, to pick up and move forward with that, we lose it. If that woman had not walked into, and now Harding High School is 99% Black students.
Yes, it is.
Had she not done that, how many poets and artists and rappers and singers and visual artists we might not know or have, right? So as artists, like, our obligation is to remind our future that our past was here and was more than just living in this world, but so relevant that without it, there is no future. That's your obligation as an artist, to remind us that there is a past that has been here that we have to deliver for my daughter and my grandchildren, right? And then their children.
That's right.
We don't do these murals, and we don't write these poems, and we don't leave these essays, and we don't make these songs that remind the world that, hey, we are more than just a people that's standing here taking up space. And so, you know, I do a lot of stuff with Levine Museum in the New South. That's who I've been working a lot with. We have an exhibit there that I'm going to, they just sent me an email. I was just reading it when we popped in. They're actually going to put one of my poems on display. Yes. That, I'm going to go inside the exhibit, and I'm going to do a writing session within the exhibit while people are walking around, while they're doing whatever they're doing, right? And then I'm going to come back with an ebook based on everything that I wrote in that exhibit. The exhibit is called Men of Change, and it's all about men of change. Everybody, Ali's there, LeBron's there, Baldwin's there, Representative Lewis is there. Anybody, they're there. It's part of the Smithsonian, right? What I'm trying to, let me rephrase that. What I'm leaving behind.
Indeed.
For someone to say, you know what? My granddaughter needs to know who these men were. My grandson needs to speak about these men in classrooms and auditoriums. And I'm leaving behind an example of what we're supposed to do as artists. That's what
And,
that's our job.
and indeed you are. And just amazing how you just spoke about the miniature because I was actually going to ask you about that. See, I like how this is flowing. I like it. But last night I had I'm also the PTA president of my boys' school. They go to Tuck over there on Little Rock.
Ah,
So
we got some conversations. Okay, go ahead.
yeah, because this was also the segue into that. The off-camera conversation.
Mhm.
But I reached out to my young brothers from Heavy Energy, Soul Society, Terrence Walker, Brad Simmons with the Live Alkaline Water. They also have their his soliloquy event over up in High Point.
Mhm.
So he came down last night he already had some water to deliver. So everything, like the divine energy was just making everything work. And he came down during curriculum night while the parents, did their thing in the classrooms.
Mhm.
The students came in with us. He brought in two artist paintings, and then there were images of himself. One looked like an alien, the other one was an astronaut. Then it was just like a regular, photo of him.
Mhm.
And after a while, like the kids started to recognize, hey, the ones on the table are you, to watch them. So he gave them writing prompts. It was to come up with an imaginative story, however you could. Hey, Sharita, shout out. She just chimed in. Esoteric Entertainment. Sharita De La Cruz. That's my big sis. And as more kids came in, because there were 2 sessions, he created another prompt, and we created like a little prize winning workshop for them.
Mhm.
And to watch these babies get in there, because Tuckasegee is supposed to be a talent and development school.
Mhm.
Since I came down from Greensboro, my oldest son has been there since 1st grade.
Okay.
And yes, the pandemic shut down some things that were about to take place.
Mhm.
But coming back into post-pandemic, it's like, okay, we need to hit the ground running and get these things revamped. So, the school system and those involved, a lot of times their hands are tied. So, those of us, like you said, the responsibility, we need to get in where we fit in, where we can make those changes.
Yeah.
So, yes, talent and development. Like the boys will always come back to the school telling all their teachers everything that we done did on the weekend and stuff like that. Like it trickled to the principal where he was like, look, we need you to be the PTA president because that stuff that your boys get to experience, I want that here for these kids. And I said, well, I want the same things.
Yeah. So here's what I want to tell you. I'm glad you said that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with the Arts and Science Council?
I believe I found out that I had someone that was related to me that used to be on that council. Like I'm still finding out my mother's maternal side of the family is connected through Charlotte and all the way to Jacksonville, North Carolina. Shout out to Tootie Hall. That's one of my cousins that's within the CMS school system.
Let me share. I need to share this with you because you're going to get really excited. I hope this makes you really excited. They actually have monies for CMS schools to bring in teaching artists. And schools a lot of people don't know. I didn't know about it until this year. Well, right before this year came in. And so schools have, they offer certain monies to schools to bring in these artists through the Arts and Science Council. So you can have artists like me come in and they will actually pay for several things that's needed, wanted, and desired. And so I need you to get on their email list. I need you to look artsandsciencecouncil.org. If you don't know, hit me
you
up.
You already know.
I want you
already
to
know
that because there are plenty of artists who they've had artists that have been doing it, but they've been only going to certain schools because most of the schools don't know.
That's right.
But there's monies there for it. And like I said, I found out. So I gotta, make my profile and stuff look pretty enough for it. But I'm sure if somebody say, "Hey, I got who I want," they already know me down there at the Arts and Science Club. I
already know who I want too.
I do shows for them for their I perform for their sponsors, the people that's coming to donate money.
Oh
so
yeah, I know. I see the posts. Trust me,
okay.
I see the posts when they get you. I'll be like, look at bro, he doing it again. Look, before we get real back deep into it, let's break for our Blast Artist of the Week.
Yes, indeed. Blast Artist of the Week is my girl Demi Day, and this song is called "Do It All."
All right.
Hot take, I'm flipping work like hotcakes. Giving my word, high stakes. Price is absurd, but that's my rate. Pay me my money, nothing about me is lucky. I've been in this bitch going dummy. I rap like a mummy. They looking at me kind of funny, but every check looking lovely. I know my worth, flexing so hard that it hurt. I got it all out the dirt, fat in the purse. Charging a rack for a verse. Niggas must be on alert, show them the proof. I do not need me a booth to do all the shit that I do. I'm better than you. Trust me, you say that shit too if you seen all the shit from my view. Nigga, I'm cool, show me the loot. I'm gone with the wind, go get me a flute like I am the band. I don't think they understand the shit I could do with these hands. Part of the plan, they counted me out again. But trust me, I know I'm the man. Do all that I can. Plus every revenue stream is a part of me building my brand. I do it all. I do it. Yeah, I do it. Yeah, I do it all. I do it. I do it. I do it. I do it. I do it all. Yeah, I do it. I do it. I do it all. I do it. I do it. I do it. I do it. I do it all. Yeah, I do it. I do it. I do it all. I do it, I do it, I do it, I do it, I do it all. Yeah, I do it, I do it, I do it all. I do it, I do it, I do it, I do it, I do it all. Cold blood, don't give a fuck who I once was. Where I am now is a move up. All by my lonely, I do does. Cry me a river, a few doves. Cause I am the prince of a new club. Spaded the diamond my heart loves. Cause I be the whole deck, not a part of. I know myself, internalizing my wealth. I never needed the help, no way to fail. All I can do is prevail. Wisdom so deep it's a whale. Every detail, part of a way bigger spell. Y'all better get up to scale, cause I'm sitting sail. And trust me, the size of my talent so massive, I flip like a whale. Whew, shawty, I be moving like I'm not a fucking human. Any shit that I'm pursuing, put my energy into it. Ain't no time to sit and view it. Add it up and not compute it. I should probably be saluted, because every time I do it, I do it all. I do it, yeah, I do it, yeah, I do it all. I do it, I do it, I do it, I do it, I do it all. Yeah, I do it, I do it, I do it all. I do it, I do it, I do it, I do it, I do it all. Yeah, I do it, I do it, I do it all. I do it, I do it, I do it, I do it, I do it all. Yeah, I do it, I do it, I do it all. I do it, I do it, I do it, I do it, I do it all.
Yes, indeed. That's our girl Demi Day, representing NC, if I'm correct.
That's right.
That's North Carolina.
Yes.
Demi Day, yes.
Woo.
That was some fire, huh?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
Hey.
That's
So check it. If you are an artist or an even up and coming comedian or spoken word poet that would like some exposure, you can go to blastmusic247.com and register for the free. That's right, blastmusic247.com, changing the industry one artist at a time. All right, back to y'all.
Yes. So, getting back to this, these hidden jewels, these hidden treasures that be within the communities, and you being within the QC just like me, you hear about the West Side this, the West Side that. I stay on the West Side. Mm-hmm. My boy's school is on the West Side, and being involved in the school system the last 2 years, seeing the inside, it's a shame what these Title I schools go through. That you see the numbers, but within the buildings and in the hallways, you don't see that money trickle down. And I'm just being honest. That's another reason why I got involved with the PTA, is because the PTA is a way to assist the parents and the students and getting the things that they need, a good way to partner with the school. Because there's a lot of things that, like when I have regular conversations with people, they can't understand that if they was like, well, how can we donate to the school? Well, who do we write a check to? Don't do that. Don't do that. If you say you want to donate, I give this classic example. If you were to say, we're going to write your kid's school a check, let's say it's for $2,000, you know, and we specifically are going to write to purchase Dell laptops for each student in that school.
Mm-hmm.
They will take that check, hold it, and say you will get whatever, you would get half of that, and we're going to get you Chromebooks. You're better off buying the things that you hope your money gets used for and just delivering it or having it delivered to these schools.
Yeah.
And it's sad that you have to say that, but it is so real. Like, we are literally, as the PTA, teaming up with those in the school to create a dads versus faculty basketball game and we host at West Met. You know, we had brought back, you know, the Donuts with Dad.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, they say the West Side, which is predominantly either 80% at the poverty level or below. Oh, our fathers don't show up. We had over 250 fathers show up. Every table in that cafeteria was filled that we had standing room only left. Like, our principal got emotional, you know, because he didn't grow up with a father. And, you know, and he's 8 years younger than me. And we have these and he's also from Brooklyn, you know, and we have these conversations a lot. Like, prior to me even coming there, he's been trying to get me in that school for so long.
Wow.
He was like, can we get you in here just to substitute something? He said, because, like, I really do care. Like, Tuck really been good to me and my boys. You know, my oldest son has flourished there. No disrespect to Greensboro, but where he started at, it just wasn't hitting for him.
Right.
And ever since he got here, he hit the ground running to the point that my family back home was like, wherever he is thriving. Keep him there. But then when I'm in the city, folks like to talk bad about the school, and I'm loyal. When I'm saying I'm loyal, I take that to the heart. I be like, look, say what you want. You just didn't put in enough to get what you expected out.
You know, the magic in what you just said was that was not the place for him. And I think that's what people are missing, right? I'm going to give an example. I'm going to be very, very open right now. I've been challenged with PTSD for a long time. And I say challenge because you're not suffering from anything. You have a challenge in your life. See, it's all about the verbiage. You got to stop saying you're suffering from these things. You're not suffering. You're challenged with something that you can't identify how to reroute your brain from staying in that mode.
Indeed.
So I decided, well, let me try this therapy thing, right? And I've been all around the world trying to find it. And I found it in a certain type of therapy. Not just who you send me to go get, not who you expect me to have, or this one will connect with you better. You don't know until you go and find what you need. What I'm saying is the beauty in you saying that just wasn't his place. Somebody else's kid might do fabulously there. That was not his place. And your duty was to find what's going to make where and how. And you did.
That's right. That's right.
I talk a lot about the entertainment now that I'm not going to give it a pass. I'm just not, right? But these youth, these young people, the reason why they're so much better than the older folks is because those old ways that's never going to work, they reject it. The issue is the people that are giving the message are coming from a different place. And their message is still kind of trickling back to what grandma and grandpa did. It was a different time. Okay? Grandma and grandpa didn't marry because they was in love. They married because they needed to take care of each other. Now they're trying to, we got to be in love and get married. That's why marriages don't work.
Mm-hmm.
And so we don't have these conversations enough around the adults to trickle down for the kids to get it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the best generation we have because they're fearless. They just don't have direction. That's the problem. They don't have direction. So it's like when I go into these workshops and I go into these classrooms, the kids are saying things like, I don't want to listen to anything that makes me feel or think. So either I want to feel this way or I want to think this way, but nothing that's going to give me both.
Sharita said, like child support, daddies got to buy the things they want their kids to have. Like, don't be just a check. Be involved. Like, just because you're not with, and it's on both sides. Like, because I know sisters, and not just the sisters, other women, they make it hard, you know. And then I know, just as much as I know those sisters make it hard, I know the fathers that just don't do, you know. So the point of the matter is, instead of being stuck in between that, is just everybody kick in, because, you know, we grown here. When you all laid down, it wasn't a problem. Like, if that right there isn't enough to be like, you know what, okay, well, in the making, I was present, I was all in. I could at least be that when it comes into the planting and the watering of my seed.
Yeah. There is that's a whole
another.
I need 12 hours. I need 12 hours to have that discussion. Because when you have a system, right? So child support was never for Black women.
Never. None of it was meant for any of us.
Black men, right? So child support was for rich people who have money.
That's right.
If you take a broke man down to get child support, knowing he don't have money, only thing you're doing is feeding the feds meat.
That's right.
All you're doing is setting him up for more failure. I'm not saying he's not commanded or demanded to do his part. I'm not saying that. But child support ain't gonna do that. Do you know they get more money to bring in child support than they push out?
Yeah.
Every dollar worth of child support gets paid money for every dollar.
Yeah. And then they hold it. But not only that, they hold it and then they charge you a fee for processing it. Like, I'm gonna tell you, you know, a lot of times when we have to get on these systems for assistance, that's automatic. That go hand in hand. And so you get this, hey, well, if you want to continue to get this insurance for your kids, you got to do this. So you buy into the system. But then they blatantly send you letters telling you, oh, so when you get your payments, not only do we already make money off of it, because we're going to hold it and we're going to gain interest off of that, but now we're going to now charge you $50 for every 100 that they put in. How is that benefiting the child?
And now you got to go to work. People are actually working for child support, working for welfare checks. So you mean to tell me there's a job that you just won't give me the job so you can take money from? It makes no sense. How are you working for a job, for a welfare check? How are you working for that? The whole idea of working is to make money, not somebody give you money. You earn it while you're working. So you have a job for me, but I can't have it unless you give me
welfare check.
Which, in fact, they are getting money to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So
12 hours.
Yes. I think we're gonna I'm gonna talk to sis. You know, Sharita's in here. You know, that could possibly be something good we could talk about. Hint, hint. But now I know you have a gig to get to, so I don't want to spoil what you got set for them. But I know you got something aside that you can vibe with us.
There's always something to the side, if you would.
Yes.
Since we're talking about children and support and all that, I think I'll do this.
Peace, Dream.
A metaphor is a phrase used to decorate the way someone completes a general statement. For example, when I say her love found me like raindrops on shattered rooftops, that means that she found scripture in my title. and promised me a seat at her table. It means when I was 15, she attached my name to an address that I couldn't call my own. That means her bedroom walls gave my shadow a home. Spelled special delivery perfect when the lights went out, and I was to be her perfect mailman. You see, metaphors can decorate any phrase to fit into your crayon box. When I say to my son, I love you, son, it means age has cursed you broken. Handcuffed me to promises your mother didn't keep. You know, I never left you, son. She simply never brought you back. Left you to swim in memories because my arms can't reach that far for you. What I'm saying is insomnia has your name written on my arm. It means it's tattooed in a language only I can understand. It means depression finds me every time you walk away. And those shattered pieces hiding behind this smile can only fool a blind man. And son, I would rather be blind than to be absent of your voice, dear son. You can try to scratch me from your memory, but you can never scratch me from your mirror. See, our DNA will never appear the same way again. So don't say I left you. Never say I abandoned you. Ask me first. Do not say you can't pretend that I don't exist. To ask me to forget who my firstborn is. There are no mountains I wouldn't climb, no journey unworthy of my boot heels. I promise. If you reach your hand for me, I give you my right arm. Chew off my left leg to give you balance from this toughest of your days. You see, metaphors don't always say everything we need them to say. So when I say to my son, I love you, sometimes I love you is just the perfect thing to say. But other times, I love you just means that I love you, my son.
Whew. I can hear that one over and over and over again. And where was you at when you wrote that? Like, is there a story behind this, or was this like a prompt?
Yeah, so my oldest son and I don't always see eye to eye. You know, he combats me a lot. I didn't have access to them for a lot of the years. In fact, in the poem I talk about, his mother never kept her promises and never brought him. The agreement with me moving here was that she was moving here. Fayetteville, actually, 2.5 hours away, which was fine because I wasn't making this trip so I can live a life and not know my sons.
Mm-hmm.
And she never held up that end of the bargain. I gave up everything in New York City to move here. It's not like I could just go right back. And so here we are with all of the different things. There's a lot of legal stuff that I can't get into, but that's led to the poem. The funniest part about it is I have 2 sons. My youngest son ended up going through something similar. Because he and I didn't see eye to eye because of the same reasons. And my youngest son actually came down here and surprised me. He popped up on the bus like, yo, and he said, yo, Dad, I didn't understand it until I had to walk through it, and it broke me. It broke me because it's like, you know, they tell men that we are not supposed to feel these ways and we're not supposed to cry and shit not supposed to be there. But you know what? If I'm not supposed to cry, I wouldn't have tear ducts.
Yeah, for real.
I know when I'm emotional and it's okay for me to be that, right? And so to have my son come and say, you know, yeah, I get it. You know, that changed everything. So we're still fighting to get my oldest son to come around. But, you know, I was in a space and I needed to release that, you know, and I'm still I'm editing that poem. I've got 3 or 4 different versions of that poem. So, you know what I mean? But all of them are relevant because all of them take on a different tactic.
That's right.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So it's all right because I know. Trust me, I have. With the transition of my daughter, you know, it took me a minute to be able. Because when you are looked at as a a certain type of person, you know, that strong person, that person that may not have it all together, but look like they got it all together. And then it's like when you're in that space where you really need to open your mouth and speak to someone, and it's not that easy to just talk to just everyone.
Right.
Because then that person that you are starts to kick in the moment you see that person you're speaking to start to break, because they're not strong enough to hold the weight that you carry.
This is the whole conversation about PTSD and depression, right?
Yes.
They say, why you don't talk to me? When I'm trying to give you little pieces, you can't take it. You can't handle it. I'm not mad at you, but I can't give you what I need to give you. I need to give it to somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it becomes that paper and that pen.
That is your saving grace.
That's indeed. 7 years strong every day, sometimes 7 times a day. Time stamping. That's what I grew through after losing my daughter. So it's like, I get it. I get it. I get it. You know, so I had a guy tell me, you know, the job sends you to someone. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, that was your daughter? Mind you, that in itself was unprofessional. Oh, okay. You got PTSD. Here you go. Here's a prescription. Here, take that.
Let me say this too. Since we went there, I've been to therapy. I lived in therapy at one point, right? And I don't care who knows this. I want you to understand that, right? Mm-hmm. And I've taken no medication. You know why I didn't need it? You have, boy, this is divine right here. You have everything you need to heal every bit of your body, from mental to spiritual to physical. The problem is that we're so caught up in systematic ideology that we can't even heal ourselves. You can heal everything that you've gone through in your life if you can erase all of the stuff that's going on in your life in that moment. That's what your mother said. That's what the TV is playing, how the song is running in your mind. That's the babies running around. When we can get back to, I'll put it to you like this. If you take a plant and you put it in the corn, right? It's getting the sunlight. You're watering it just with water. You don't got to give it no plant food. Just give it water and sunlight. 3 days later, it's still a plant. 4 years later, it's still a plant. 5 years, 15 years, until it dies off, it is still a plant. If you allow the human being to just be, the human being finds its divine within. See, we so externalizing the divine, we don't have a clue of what's going on in our lives. Stop externalizing. Become a human being, right? You will reach levels of intellect, spirituality. You will find out what the word God really means and who it even came from. Oh, God, it's getting deep. See, we don't need people that said God. It came as a fixation. Let me stop right there. Because we're going to lose some folks and they're going to be lost in the ending, right? Here's what I'm saying. Every journey, there are forks in the road. Doesn't matter what path you're on, there are forks in the road. And our decisions to go this way or that way helps us along the journey. Sometimes it slows us back. Sometimes it shifts us in a whole nother direction, right? Mm-hmm. The idea is to never stop moving. Your feet should never sit in quicksand. If you're doing that, it's just like raindrops. Dick Gregory said raindrops' idea is just to get back to its origin, to get back to the river, get back to the ocean, right? As a spiritual being living in a physical world. Oh, this is divine. Hold on. Because y'all need to get this. Mm-hmm. As a spiritual being having a physical experience, your essence in itself wants to reach back to its origin. You can't reach your origin physically, only spiritually. Mm-hmm. And so the spirit has to go through a cleansing. Y'all not listening. Your cleansing is your life. Your cleansing is your travels and your journeys. Everything that you experience is cleansing you. You either accept the cleansing or you repeat the process until you do. I'm telling you, there is a divine in the human being that we are so disassociated with, and we miss everything. We miss everything.
Indeed, we do. Like, I told y'all he was heavy. I told y'all. I hope y'all was prepared, but this ain't gonna be the last.
No, I was just gonna say
this was just the first of many. Yeah. And now that my brother put me on to some stuff, wait till you see my socials popping when I got him coming to the school doing things, because there's Dad's versus faculty basketball game. Shout out to my cousin Wiley, aka Main Event Dixon from the Air One Mixtape Tour. Nice. He is going to come down, to assist us with this. Nice. So we Mike can reach out to you for some halftime, delights. I like how this works. Holla at me. See, look, I got witnesses. Like, yeah. I know I ain't even got to do bro like that. I already know. His word is his bond.
Absolutely. That's why when I didn't realize I had that other gig come in later. And so that's why I was like, listen, if we can I'll because I'm gonna be there on time. I'm not worried about that. They're gonna get me. I'm coming. I don't go on right when I get to any spot anyway. But like I said, I wanted to make sure I kept my word. If we could do it early, I'm here. So that's just how we work. If I'm available, you got me. And definitely here, because I don't believe in having I'm going to meet my cousin, Professor James Small. I don't know if y'all familiar with him. James Small is my cousin.
He is your cousin? Stop playing.
And so I have not met him, and then we keep missing each other because he's on California time. Well, he's on the East Coast now because he's doing something in New York City. And so there's some things that I'm learning through his teachings.
Wow. And Baba. Baba, like, you see, I follow. Wow.
And so I tell people all the time, you're just living, you're just going through this experience as a in the physical. And we have to tap into what the spiritual is. And the spiritual doesn't have to do with anything with religion or choosing of gods and past. That's part of your cleansing. And you have to understand that as you go into these different faiths, they're there for cleansing. Religion means to rely on or to get back to. And so means to get back, and religion is a way of life or path. So you're supposed to get back to it. That is for you to get back to a place. It's not for you to have for your entire life. The word religion is not a lifelong thing. If you're still trying to revisit the same thing, that means you hadn't learned what you're supposed to learn. I'm not telling you to drop your faith. I'm telling you what religion means. And if you're following a religion, it's to get back to a way of life or a way of living. And that's look it up. Don't take my word for it. Go and do your research. That's what it is. And so it's a process, and it has a due time. And you have to figure out in that timing, how do you get back there? What do you need? Right? And people get it from different faiths. I've studied world religion in school. Don't come to me with that. I don't need that. I'm not worried about it. I'm concerned about what the spiritual part is going to be, because you can't kill a spirit.
That's right.
You can't kill a spirit.
The spirit is a mighty powerful thing. Ooh, well, tell the people how to, follow you, how to catch you. Where you be at?
So I started a new page on Instagram. It's Coach Josh Smalls on Instagram. He's just like on the screen, easy to find. I always tell people the easiest way is to Google Josh Smalls. If you can't find me on Google, something is wrong with your Google. And so
you heard what bro said. Google me. He took it back. Google me.
But it's easier to find me that way, to find my work, to find my books, to find my shows. Anything I'm doing is easy to find me in that way. So yeah. But IG is best. Facebook, I'm not a fan of Facebook. I'm there, but I'm not a fan of it. I still post to keep relevant. I'm only using it because people need to find me. Other than that, I can throw Facebook away. You can have it. I don't. I don't like people calling me.
Folks that follow you, they know this.
They know. They know it. So IG is best. And don't cold call me through IG either. Don't video call me. I don't just answer that. If you need me, and especially if it's business related, please do. If it's not business related, send a message. I'm not into the pitches. Ladies, don't do it. I got enough of it. I hate to say it like that, but I'm sick of it. I say it all the time. Don't do that. I'm not that guy. I'm not interested in that kind of lifestyle. And so don't save yourself the heartache. Don't do that.
You heard him. Look, respectfully, y'all gotta understand. Like, everybody ain't for that.
My life is happy. You know, I got a lady, we got a baby, we got a house. You know, we got our cars that we pay for. We good. I'm fine. You know, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, but life journeys go the way they go, and you have to be mindful of that. Find your joy. And if you hadn't found your joy in the mirror, you're not going to find joy anyplace else. I'm happy with me. I have my things that I'm not head over heels about, but yeah, I'm happy with me.
So anything else you got coming on around the city?
Yeah, that is a great question. So on the 17th, my partner, his name is DJ Facade, Mike Bennett. He's a muralist and he does a lot of images. And so for Black History Month, we're doing an event called She Is, and it's a celebration of Black women. And all the artwork is Black women, and I'm writing poems to the artwork, all for Black women. It's for us celebrating the mother of all civilization and giving her just due. And so if you're available, the address I don't have on me. It's in Concord, but if you're on my IG, right?
You'll get it.
If you Google me, you'll find it. And so
I have a question.
Yes.
Did y'all specifically pick 217 for a reason? Or was that just the date that they gave y'all?
That was we didn't pick that for a reason, but whatever you're gonna hit me with, I'm gonna get ready for it.
I was just saying, because 17 represents Queen. And you already knew where I was going. And then 2 is wisdom.
It also represents the Black woman.
Indeed. So when you was busting it, I was like, hold up, look at y'all. And see how that just happens. You see how it all fits.
Now, if you take it, if it's born together, right?
Mm-hmm.
1 is 8 plus 2, that's 10. Born together, that's 1, which is back to knowledge all over again.
Over again.
Yeah. And I didn't do the math until you just said that. I didn't. That's why you got to know your mathematics. Look.
I feel like, again, it's the culture. It's the culture. We was in it. We was in the thick of it coming. So,
Oh, that just gave me a whole new thing for the poems. I'm still writing poems. That gave me a whole new. Oh my God. Woo.
Oh, well, I like. Wow, look, Sharita, you hear that? Look, I done. What? Me, Sunshine? I done did something a little there for what? Coach Josh Smalls?
I just got in one of my new journals too. This is my writing.
Oh, that's dope.
And so I hadn't written anything in it yet.
Oh, well, good. That's perfect then. So I just sparked the new wave. Okay, cool. I'm definitely gonna make sure. I do have some things coming up personally that just came down today with the fam. So if I am still in town next weekend, I will definitely come through. But I may be having to take this trip to PA to go see about my pops. So
okay.
So that's the only other thing. But yes, indeed, I just can't wait to hear the poems. I can't wait to read them.
Yeah.
Y'all definitely need to do a repeat.
Well, those poems are going to be in the ebook, and then I'm going to actually turn it into I'm doing a audio book of those poems.
All right, indeed.
Yeah, I got some plans for that. So definitely, yeah.
Well, Veep, come up to the front, bruh.
Yeah.
You lamping in the back on his Chuck chill out.
No doubt.
So, you could definitely vibe with Coach. I like the fact that he got Coach up there because, Veep just started writing erotic poetry out of nowhere since I started doing erotic shows every third show. Uh-huh. So, I be telling him and I bring him up here so he get to talk to different ones and be like, look, it's your lane.
Right.
No matter how, the fire that everybody give all it should do is fuel yours, to push you to be like, yo, I really could do this. Like, oh yeah, that's like an extra battery in the back to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always like the idea of connecting two things that there's no way to connect them. Like, how do you connect that? That works for me. So in erotic poetry, that's part of what we're doing tonight. I got to do some lustful poetry.
Yeah. I figured it was an erotic show tonight. I figured.
Yeah. I mean, let me say this, and I'm not a fan of porn and hard porn writing. I'm not a fan of having all the vulgarities. If you're a writer, then tantalize my brain cells. Make me, you know what I mean? I write erotic poetry that we can read in front of your grandmother.
That's right.
And if it's not like that, I don't want to hear it. Like, I mean, there's a place to say some of the vulgarity, right?
Yeah, there's a place, there's a certain place for everything. Yeah. Like, there's levels to this, and you just got to prepare the people for it and be honest and let them know, because you don't want someone coming into your venue and they not prepared for that. You want to make sure that you promoted it properly so people understand.
Sometimes I want the vulgarity. Sometimes I want you to give me the hard, give it up. Give me what I'm coming here for.
Facts.
But every one of your poems is there. Houston, we got a problem.
Yeah.
Gotta get your pen working. You know what I mean? So, but I want to hear some of your work, bro. You gotta. I know you just starting. It's all good. We do it off camera. I want to hear something.
But yes. So, but Veep is definitely doing this thing, though. I gotta give him that. He doing his props. He doing it. So,
not to try is to fail, bro.
That's right. We strive. You either do it or you don't.
Yeah. Gotcha.
All right. So, I don't want to hold you up, because I don't want them people saying, "Oh, Shine had him all tied up." Shine getting on my nerves.
Nah, it's so good. I'm not that far from them. I'll make it there in time.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Is this a private event?
I don't even know. Listen, they said
find out if it is or not, and if it's not, hit me with the location.
I'll shoot you the location once I find. I'll text them and find out in a minute.
All right.
And I'll do that. Yeah.
Since we getting done early, I might as well go find something to do.
Yeah.
All right. So I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you, beloved. Thank you. And y'all already know how I close this out. Peace.
Later.